I refused to give up my seat. Flying has always tested my patience, not because of turbulence or the mechanics of the plane, the people, the rushing, the line cutters, the overstuffed luggage, the ones who act like your comfort is their problem to solve. This flight was heavier than most. I was flying home after my father's funeral. No sleep, constant stress, days of vending machine coffee and adrenaline. My body felt like it was running on empty. I just wanted a few hours of peace, a quiet window seat, and a chance to breathe before facing more relatives who didn't understand grief. I paid extra for a window seat near the front, not first class, just quiet, extra leg room, control over my little corner of the world. Boarding was chaos. People jammed the bins with oversized luggage. Others stood in the aisles texting. Families tried to squeeze all their bags into one small compartment. I finally reached my seat, stowed my bag, and sank into it. For a moment, it felt like I could breathe. Then she appeared. A woman, mid-30s, dragging a carry-on, holding a toddler's hand. The boy looked about 4. He clutched a stuffed giraffe and a juice box. He was tired but alert, glancing at the other passengers with curiosity. She gave me a wide, rehearsed smile. "Hi, I hate to ask, but could you switch seats with me? I want to sit next to my son." I blinked. "Which seat is that?" 29B. I looked at mine. 7A, window, extra legroom, front of the plane. Her seat, middle back, next to the bathrooms. I tried to stay polite. "I'm sorry. I paid extra for this seat. Maybe the attendants can help you find someone else." Her smile vanished. "Seriously? He's 4. You're really not going to let him sit with me?" People started glancing over. Judgment filled the air. I stayed calm. "I understand, but I'm not moving." Her expression hardened. "You want a child to sit alone? What kind of person does that?" I said firmly. "Ma'am, you didn't pay for this seat. I did. Please talk to the flight attendants." She huffed and muttered loud enough for nearby passengers to hear. Some people just don't care about kids. "Mommy will be right behind you." The boy looked confused. My stomach twisted. I stayed silent. The flight attendant arrived. The woman launched into her story. "Excuse me? This man refuses to let me sit next to my child. I can't believe how selfish people are." The attendant turned to me. "Sir, are you willing to switch?" I explained calmly. "I paid for this seat. Hers is several rows back. She can speak with someone else." The attendant nodded. "You're not required to move." Then to the woman. "We'll find another option." The woman crossed her arms. "Wow, Merry Christmas to me." Finally, someone agreed to swap seats. She and her son sat together a few rows behind me, but she didn't stop. Throughout the flight, I could hear her complaining. The seat didn't recline enough. The air vent was too strong. The snack service was terrible. The people around her were rude. Every complaint seemed pointed at me. About an hour in, her son started crying. Loud, frustrated sobs. She scolded him sharply. Mutters of, "See? This is why I need to sit up front," drifted to me. I realized then, it wasn't about her son. It was control. I glanced around. Other passengers were exchanging glances, clearly uncomfortable. A young couple behind me whispered to each other, "Can you believe her?" I caught a few nods and small sympathetic smiles. The flight attendants moved quickly to assist her, but the woman continued her monologue. "This is ridiculous. Some people just have no empathy. My son shouldn't have to suffer because of someone else's selfishness." By the halfway point, I'd put on my headphones and tried to focus on the view outside. Snow-covered mountains stretched below us. The sun reflected off the clouds. I took a deep breath, reminding myself I was here to survive, not to win a popularity contest. Yet I couldn't ignore the tension. Every time she spoke, my chest tightened. My mind raced through countless scenarios. Should I have moved? Would it have been easier? But then I remembered the ticket I paid for, the tiny comfort I'd earned, and I stayed put. A flight attendant came by again. The woman demanded a drink for her son, a juice box that wasn't on the snack menu. When told no, she sighed dramatically. "Wow, great service." Other passengers were watching now, eyes rolling, whispers of annoyance drifting across the aisle. One older woman muttered, "Some people are impossible." I just focused on my breathing. Toward the end of the flight, the boy's crying escalated. Exhausted, frustrated, overstimulated, the mother yelled at him once, muttered about poor parenting skills, then glared in my direction. That was the moment I stopped feeling guilty. When the plane landed, I waited for the crowd to clear. She passed me in the aisle, glaring like she wanted to set me on fire. "Hope you're proud," she hissed. Before I could respond, an older man behind me spoke calmly. "Next time, maybe just book seats together instead of expecting strangers to give up theirs." The aisle went silent. She turned red and hurried off. The man looked at me. "You did the right thing. She does this every flight. Cheap seats, guilt trips. Don't let it get to you." I nodded, finally feeling peace. I didn't stop feeling empathy for the boy. But his mother didn't want kindness. She wanted compliance. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is protect the small comfort you've earned, even at 30,000 feet.